Dear audience, let me welcome you here. This interview is part of the Czech That Film Movie Festival, which is annually organized by Czech Centers in collaboration with Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the Czech Republic. And Czech That Film is in its 10th edition this year, and unfortunately we are again online due to the COVID-19 situation in the world. But we are happy that we can unless introduce you Czech filmmakers and directors through these short question and answers about their movies. And I'm today here with Eric Knopp. Welcome.
Hello.
Eric is a director, screenwriter, and also cameraman of the movie Blood, Sweat and Tears. Blood, Sweat and Tears is a documentary about, I would say, quite popular Czech theater ensemble with the name Cirkla Putika. And thanks for the online version of the festival, we are able to show you also documentaries and series and short films next to the feature films which were like a part of Czech That Film every year. And I would like to ask Eric a few questions. So my first question is, Blood, Sweat and Tears is a documentary about Cirkla Putika, as I already mentioned, and about its founders, Rostia and Vítek Novákovi. How did it happen that you made a movie about them? Whose idea it was?
So my friend Andrzej Kolsky invited me for opening of their theater Jatka 78. It was in 2014. I didn't know Cirkla Putika before, so I came, and when I saw the incredible show, I was absolutely amazed. From the very first moment I knew I wanted to make a documentary movie about them. I wanted to know what was behind the scenes. It took me some time to pursue Rostia, but finally he approved filming. So I started making a movie about Cirkla Putika, but after 2 months I realized that a family history of the founders Rostia and Vítek was even more interesting than an ensemble itself. Rostia and Vítek represent 8th generation of famous puppet master family of Kopecky.
Okay, that's quite interesting, I would say. And the movie is a lapse documentary. So how long were you following like fates of the main characters and their families?
I spent 5 years by documenting their personal life and their work.
Okay, so how many hours of the material you had after those 5 years when you started the cutting and making the final version of the movie?
So we had 600 hours of footage. It was really a lot. Only transcription of the material took me 3 months. It was an important experience for me. Next time, my future project, I really don't want to have so much material. Never.
I can see, because in another interview I heard that they have 100 hours of a material, and I was already surprised, and you are saying 600 hours of material, so wow. And my next question. The movie is not only about their work, but also about their family life and family inheritance. As you mentioned, that they are 8th generation of famous puppet masters family. Were all family members open to participate in the movie and like to show their family history?
Yes, the movie is more about the family than work, or more precisely, it's about family business. The movie became time-lapse documentary because I wanted to be as much close to family members as possible. I wanted to capture the real life of this extraordinary family. Of course, when you shoot a movie about smart people, they are careful about what they say when camera is on. It's naturally they control their behavior a bit. So that's why I choose the storytelling based on comparing the history of the family with current situation. I observe how Rostya and Vitek are dealing with joys and worries of everyday life and how their grandfather used it to do it. Their grandfather had a really hard life, but he never gave up his dream to continue with family tradition. Luckily for me, he was a great archivist of their family. So I could use Amazing Family Film Archive. That was great.
Yeah, that's good that they let you to use it. You already mentioned that Sirkla Putika works like family business, and Vitek's wife once mentioned in the movie that people should not combine their work and their family or personal life. What do you think about this, especially after shooting the movie?
I think there can be a family business and it can be very successful, but you have to set the boundaries. At work, we work. At home, we are family. But Rostya has troubles to separate these two things. The business is part of his life, but part of his family life. That's why Rostya, Vitek and Vitek's wife have sometimes trouble to understand each other.
Yeah, no, like it's important, those boundaries you mentioned. And my next question is about Rostya, because it's mentioned in the movie that Rostya has ADHD, like this disease. And ADHD among adults, it's not really discussed topic, unless in my opinion, in Czech Republic, it's discussed quite often in cases of children, but not adults. Do you think that the movie can help to, let's say, open the discussion about this disease among adults?
I really cannot tell. I decided to include it into the movies because it explains the endless energy and passion of Rostya. He wants everybody else to be the same because he thinks it's normal, but I don't think it's normal. So I decided to tell the viewers why he's like that. Actually, I wanted to justify his behavior somehow. That he is not insane. He just has this illness that drives him on the edge. People who don't have ADHD can never handle it and survive it.
Okay, so I think it could help to open the debate about this among adults because, like, this is how it works. You see something in the news or in the TV, in a film, and then probably you will start to talk about it with your friends or someone. And I have last question for you, my usual question for those who are watching also other interviews. And it's something about your other work, what you are working on now, for example.
I would like to make a future film. This movie wasn't very joyful. So I would like to something cheerful and funny. I have a comedy story in my mind. It's based on a real life too, but it cannot be made as documentary movie. So I want to try it with actors, normal actors.
Okay, so we have something to look forward to watch in like upcoming years. I know it took quite a long time. I would like to thank you, Eric, for joining me today for this question and answers. And I would like to also thank our audience for watching us and invite you to watch other movies we have in this year's Check That Film selection. So thank you again. Have a nice afternoon.
Thank you.
Bye.